Okay, we are live. Welcome to episode 7, your first jungle clear. What's this show all about? It's about me going over early jungle path clearing of members of my community. Why, you asked, early jungle path? As a jungler, it is the most important aspect of your game. You have the most influence in terms of probably from obviously the early game to about 15 minutes. Past that, you're really sort of becoming a bit of a ward bot, vision bot. And, if you're super fed, you can obviously carry, but, that's pretty rare in terms of you can just not get as much experience in gold in terms of with your laners. So if you've been watching for a little bit, if you're not in my Discord yet, definitely welcome you to come onto this show. I pre-booked the guests, about like 6 or so hours before the show. But if you really want to get on the show, you'll get on the show. It's basically like a free viewing session, literally, with me. No judgment here. We're just going over your gameplay and the purpose being helping you become a better jungler. That is the purpose of this show. Okay, so we're going to drag in our first guest here, Beck. He's going to be a first-time caller. Let me just get his game going here. Also, let me know in the chat as well if you can hear me all good. I've actually played around with my audio levels a little bit, so if I'm too low or when the guest comes on and they're too loud, let me know. Okay. All right, Beck, you're on the air. Can you hear me all good?
Hey.
Excellent. All right, so you're first time caller here. You've been on my Discord for a little bit now. You're from OS. Whereabouts are you from OS?
Yeah, Adelaide.
Adelaide, gotcha. Good old South Australia. Awesome.
Yeah. Do you know Coach Curtis? Because my friend got coaching from him last night.
Oh, really? Do I know Coach
Yeah.
Curtis? Yes, I lived with Coach Curtis for 3 years. He's my best mate. So, yeah, he's obviously teaching mid lane. And doing good stuff there. So I definitely recommend if any of your listeners wanting to learn mid lane, he's the guy to go to. Okay, Beck. So I am getting your game up now. I'm taking a look at your match history. Looks like you've had a pretty rough last couple of games.
Yeah, I think I have like a 5-game loss streak or something.
What's going on? What aspects of your gameplay you feel like you're struggling with at the moment?
It feels like right now I'm just playing very on autopilot, and I'm not like playing to a game plan or anything, and I'm getting like these periods where I might get like 1 or 2 ganks early and they'll be successful, and then I won't know what to do, and I just kind of walk around not really having a plan what to do.
So is this in all stages of the game? Like, is it early game, mid game, late game?
Usually early. I have a pretty good idea for my first clear what I want to do, but then sometimes I think I make the wrong decision there, but I usually have a plan, and then sort of I guess after a couple minutes I kind of lose track of everything.
Okay, and you were is the highest you've been Platinum 2? You're currently Plat 4, right?
Yeah. I got to Plat 1 last season, but then I dropped back to Plat 2, I think, at the end.
And is the highest you've been is Plat 2? You've been in Plat 1 or Diamond?
Yeah, I've been in Plat 1. Not in Promos 2 Diamond, but I got to Plat 1.
And what's your goal this season?
Diamond, and then from there look to go above, but first Diamond.
Yeah, one step at a time. Okay. Well, it looks like you need to. You're at the bottom of Platinum at the moment, so we're going to take it one division at a time.
Yeah.
Looking at the MMR of your games as well. You're versing Gold 1, Gold 2. So definitely based on the level that you were at last season, definitely is not looking good so far. But that's what this show's about. All right. So you can see on the stream right now your game, right?
Yeah, I can see it.
All right, so just mute the stream and then just watch it through. There's about a 5-second delay, but I'll slow down for you. If it goes too fast, just let me know.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay, so you're playing Sejuani. Also, tell me a little bit about your champ pool. Looks like it's all over the place here. You play Elise, Vi, Jarvan, Zach. Are you trying to find a champ? What's going on?
Yeah, well, I enjoy playing tanks, but I've been trying different things like aggressive champions like Vi or Elise who can kind of dive and stuff, but I'm sort of going back to tanks now because I've been struggling a bit on those sort of champions.
So when you were Plat 1, what champions were you playing to get Plat 1?
I was playing a lot of Nunu last season.
Okay, so you have more of the tank sort of play style. So you understand how tanks sort of work. And so aggressive junglers like Elise, the Jarvan and stuff, is that something you're just picking up now, trying to learn?
Yeah, I'm trying to learn it, and I've had some good games and it's felt really good, but I find if I'm not playing 110%, then I'm very weak on them.
All right. Well, let's go over this game here. Let's take a look. So let's start with your runes. So you're going Aftershock, Font of Life, Conditioning, Overgrowth, Triumph, and Alacrity. That's great. Attack Speed, Armor, and Health. Yep, I think runes are perfect here. These are the standard Sejuani runes.
Yeah.
All right, let me just mute this a little bit here. Okay, so tell me a little bit about what are you thinking in the early games? You actually place the ward here. You're obviously scared of Graves invading. Is that what that is about?
Yeah. I do that every game. Just it's kind of like a habit, just to place it there. Or if I'm on the other side, I walk up and place it there, and then recall for the sweeper. So I just kind of do that every game because I've heard that's good.
Yeah, so I think it's more like as a tank, like when I'm playing tanks, I like to really keep my ward intricate. Like, yes, you can place that ward, but just because of the fact that you're just not going to have as much pressure, and like you want to be able to track them after their first clear. So you can usually tell where they start, right? But then after that, after their first gank, let's say, then you might start to lose them. And that's where I want to keep my ward so I can look to just track them. Because at the end of the day, like, I mean, I guess you are versing a Graves here, so he's probably going to be looking to farm as well. But, I mean,
that makes sense.
in general, like, yeah, again, as a tank, that's like my rule. Like, I really don't switch up to my sweeper to around second or third base. Like, that is, yes, that works for like Jarvans, the Elises and stuff, because they want red sweeper trinket to go for gank straight away.
Yeah.
But sort of like try that. And this show is going to be a bit about tracking the enemy jungler. And I'll talk about where you could have placed the ward if you had it as well, just so we can get the track in. All right. So, yeah, so in terms of your pathings, you're going bot side here. What do you think? If you want to gank top early with Aurelia?
My plan is, like, I'm not sure if this is correct, but what I do when I'm assessing the game is I go, like, which lane do I want to gank? In this game, like, which side lane do I want to gank? So in this game, I'm thinking Aurelia. And I'm also seeing, like, mid is a TF, so that's gankable. So if I see mid's gankable, I do, like, 3 camp into go mid, like, as a transition gank. But if not, I would just, like, do 3 camp finish at red. So this game, I think I can gank mid, so I think I do 3 camp on blue side.
Okay, so you do a 3 camp into gank in mid.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'll talk a little bit about what I think you should be doing this early game. So I've played a bit of Sedge, and I've experimented a lot with the blue side start, and I really don't like blue side start. Like, I think that just doing red, I'm not sure if you should be doing Krugs and then Raptors, like that old sort of path. But just in terms of, like, if you notice sustain, like, say if you don't get a really good leash from bot side when you start blue, like, let's say you start blue on the other side of the map, your, like, health is pretty low. Like, you don't clear, especially when you're doing Gromp and stuff like that, like, it's pretty brutal.
Yeah, you take a lot of damage.
Because you have Talisman, right?
Yeah, where I can't gank after that if I'm doing it on that side.
So, I mean, I guess this is fine in terms of starting bot side here. I mean, obviously, you can have a good leash from Nami and Lucian. But in general, and maybe start trying this, like, I really do like just starting red. Even doing like just literally just full clear. Like, I really do think getting like level 4 on tank junglers is just the best bet, because if you get into a situation where because obviously you're weakest early game, right? Like, Graves could walk all over you. Like, you just want to make sure that you're not getting into situations where it's just starting to get messy, because if it gets messy early game and you start losing the control as a tank jungler, like, you can just lose your camps and then you know it starts going out of control. Do you say this happens this game? Is that actually happens?
So,
there you go.
Top side, there's a whole like scuffle, and then I think Graves ends up invading me, and he like kills top lane, and I just get out, but I almost die.
Okay, let's take a look at it. Poltron in the chat actually says top seems easy to gank early. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, I think this starts fine, but you know, I'm actually really looking at bot here. Like, I really think that you actually should have started red, early ganked bot, and then actually really do keep pressure in the Aurelia. I mean, Kled is a little bit, like, iffy. Like, Kled is a very good 1v2 champ, right?
Very hard to kill.
And in terms of 2v2, I mean, like, obviously, Sedge Aurelia, it's a very good combo. She can, obviously, works with your passive. I mean, I think you have either or option, but I think that just for the fact that I like starting red on Sedge, I'll do a Raptor, Wolves, Blue, and then gank bot. And the reason being is that whenever I'm versing brands, like, they're always hyper aggressive in lanes, right? Like, they want to always like pressure. I just have a feeling these guys are going to push bot. And and if you can start pressuring this bot, because remember, Ashe it's not like she's a Lucian. She can't get away. If you start shutting these guys down early, getting your Lucian Nami ahead,
flash, I can go there.
You know. So I think that would be my plan. But I do like the general game plan of focusing Aurelia.
Yeah.
But just, again, the fact that, just take this note for brands. Like, a brand Ashe lane, like, you should start building these summoners really early here.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's take a look at this gank that you're talking about.
Yep.
So you're talking about Sona is a gankable lane. You see, I really disagree with that. I just don't see how that is. Obviously, when she's 6.
I wasn't really thinking about the Sona, more about TF, because he doesn't have any mobility.
Well, unfortunately, you need to think about your laner as well, right? Like, you're a Sejuani. You don't do insane amounts of damage. You're not an Elise. You can't just one-shot people. And you know what? You don't have a red buff right now. Like, tell me how this is a good idea.
Got no damage. Yeah.
And the worst thing about this, if you show on this, right, you give Graves the opportunity to do whatever he wants, right?
Yeah,
he knows you don't have red.
That's why he would invade. Yeah.
And then that opens up a whole, like that, like if you say it gets messy, this is the reason why. Like, even if you kill this, like, sure, you burn flash, that's great. But, I mean, again, like, Graves now has a huge advantage on you. I just don't think it's worth it. Like, let's see what actually happens here.
So we burn flash, and then I just get out, because I'm like, that's enough.
Okay, Graves actually shows up here, so you're pretty lucky you get that. But now you look, this is the messy part I'm talking about. Now he can start taking your jungle. You're low health, you have to burn flash as Sedge. And look at this, bot actually is hard shoving. Look at this as well.
Yeah, that'd have been easy gank.
Oh, geez, now Cled's coming to kill Aurelia. This is just getting really messy. Almost die here. So you see how just these little things, like the information, where you started, like imagine how different this early game would be if you started red. Obviously, it's easy for us to look at this in hindsight, but it's all about like minimizing risk all the time. And the risks you took here was, I mean, ganking a TF with a Sona, with no red buff for Sejuani. You gave free information. Like it's your fault that Aurelia's like had to burn flash and like she's going to die now, right? Yeah. Like this is all your fault.
Lost top side.
You know? And there's your win condition. See you later. You know?
Yeah.
So this is how important it is, the early game. That's why I have this show.
Yeah, that makes perfect sense. Wow.
Alright, so in terms of tracking the Graves now, where would you say Graves is?
So he would have full cleared top side, so I say he'd recall, probably go down to Krugs, and then clear up.
Okay, so he actually hasn't, so he's taken Rift Scuttler right now.
Okay.
And he actually hasn't. So, I mean, I would actually assume that he's going to be bot side soon anyway. So you are right. And he's actually doing a pretty greedy full clear. And you're actually going to invade here. Okay, so you actually said that you thought Graves was on Krugs, but you come down here for Krugs anyway. Like, isn't this a huge risk? Like, obviously, you know?
I think here my brain kind of turned off and I didn't have a plan, so I was just like, I'm just gonna walk in and take
Krugs with bot priority and mid priority. Look how risky this is. This is suicide. True. You don't have flash. You even said yourself, oh, Graves is going to be bot side. Obviously, you weren't tracking the jungler. You know, like I could have seen this going so south. You're dead. You have no flash. You lose dragon off this. Game done. You know.
Yeah, definitely. Because I think I was planning to gank bot here. And then I was like,
look at bot now. You're against a 3-0 Ashe again. You could have limited this. Like, this is almost not gankable anymore. So bot is almost not gankable anymore. TF, you've burnt flash, but like, I mean, by the time he sort of gets his flash back, like, you know, again, you have a Sona, and have no Cinder Hulk, you have no Barmy Cinder, you don't do any damage now. And your Aurelia died early, so she's like, I mean, obviously, top is still your win condition, to be honest. So, to be honest, I would probably just ditch bot side, give up dragon.
Okay, and just play for top side.
Yeah. Okay, actually, this is pretty sneaky by you.
Wait in the bush for a bit.
Okay, this might work. This is good. So, did you know the summoners burnt down here? Were you looking, using F keys and stuff? Were you looking at this lane, out of curiosity?
Yeah, I usually use F keys when I'm walking between jungle camps to check like what the lane state is.
Okay, yep. That's a dead Ashe, you burn flash. Okay, so this is good, this is great. You should have done this a long time ago though. Before the Ashe was 3-0.
Yeah.
Alright, Aurelia's actually coming down for this dragon. That's really good by her, I think. Getting an early dragon is pretty good. But she's like given up her lane at this stage. So this is really difficult. Like, Cled's just freezing right now. Like, sure, she's going to come help. And I think the smart move was her actually coming down here. I'm actually pretty impressed by this. And this is like Platinum 4 game, right? She's just like, I'm just going to get Dragon. Great, so you do get Dragon. And we're just looking to full clear here. Yeah, I mean, you just really need to catch up. You need to get level 6. You're level 5, just hit at 7 minutes right now. And you actually die to Graves here. So this is where...
Tracking him properly, I think.
Yeah, I mean, he's just literally just walking through the jungle right now.
Yeah.
You know? And do you know why he's doing this? It's because he knows that you just did Dragon. He knows that your blue buff is up. You started it. So, like, he's like, well, why not? Like, come here. TF has ult to back up his safe. Like, this is very good by the Graves. You know? So, you need to just be cautious of this. I mean, obviously, you saw the Graves here. So, I think this is a risk that you should have just backed off the blue. I mean, I can just tell you, sometimes you just, as a jungler, you just get greedy, right? You're like, oh, like, I'm just going to get it. I know he's here, but...
I'll just finish it.
Just finish it. And look, and is it worth it? It never is, you know?
No. Yeah.
All right, so yeah, Beck, I think that's pretty much your early game there. I mean, the biggest thing here is as a tank, like try and minimize messy games as much as possible. You can you can do messy games as like Elise, Lee Sin, like they thrive in that scenario. As a tank, you know, it's really difficult.
Yeah. Okay.
And that's why I always try and get like level 4, secure it. And then go for ganks. I always like obviously the game's changed a lot, but I don't know if you know a bit about my background, but I got rank 2 challenger playing tank Udyr back in season 3, right?
Oh, wow.
And like this is like no one played tank Udyr, and my philosophy was always get level 4 as efficiently as possible as a tank, and then I start pressuring things. But the game has changed a lot since then. Like buffs, like you could last longer. I don't even remember the runes that you used to go. Where you would have increased duration of red buff and blue buff and stuff. So I would like have red buff like at level 4 like a lot and stuff like that, and that was really OP as Udyr. So yeah, I've always taken that into account in terms of tank jungler. Level 4 safety, track, then you can start making plays, you know?
Okay, cool, that's awesome.
Alright, hopefully that was helpful for you, Beck.
Yeah, that's very helpful. Thank you so much.
No worries. Alright, I'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Alright, so that was our first guest, Beck here. I'll take a quick look at the chat before we jump into our next guest, who is going to be Joey. Barkley says, I hate Graves when I'm playing tanks. Yeah, Graves definitely is really, especially if he goes Conquer or something like that, it's a hard time. And he can snowball pretty, I mean, he can just farm a lot faster than you, right? So it's very difficult. Yeah, when you're clearing wolves and raptors, try to hit as many of them as you can at a time. You get a bunch back the more you tag them with talisman. Yep, that's definitely a good jungle clearing. Bob Builder says, Nathan, what rank are you? I'm currently Diamond 4. I have 2 Diamond 4 accounts at the moment. I haven't played as much as I would like to, but I definitely need to start climbing soon, just to give me a bit more validity to what I preach. Got to practice what you preach. All right, Joey, we're going to drag you in now. All right, Joey, you're on the air. Can you hear me all good?
Yeah, I can hear you. You can hear me?
Yep. By the way, is it Joe or Joey?
Joe.
Joe. All right, so you're a returning guest. You're currently Platinum, right?
I'm Platinum 1 ADLP now. So almost Diamond.
And we went over a Rek'Sai game last time, is that right?
Yep. And I want to go over another one. Is that all good?
Yep, absolutely. Let's perfect one champion. It's
yeah, exactly.
Let's perfect the early game as Rek'Sai. All right, so tell me about how your ranked is going so far at the moment. Actually, looks like you're playing a bit of Elise and Olaf here. Not so much Rek'Sai going on.
Yeah, I played Olaf my first game this season this morning, which went really well. And then my next game, I got an AFK. So my whole team just gave up and we lost at 10. And the next game, we just got hard stomped. So I don't think I'll be playing much Olaf until I perfect that maybe in some walls.
Yes.
I used to play a bit of that last season, but probably not going so smoothly at the moment.
Yeah, so I think that Olaf has actually dropped off a lot. Like, I just don't think he... I don't know why he's dropped off a lot. Like, I don't know, maybe it was... everyone thought Olaf was... I mean, Olaf was a top-tier pick in terms of,
yeah, he was crazy.
Season 10. I actually can't pinpoint it. Do you have any ideas why, or...?
I haven't really been playing him so much, so I can't say for sure. I mean, it felt like... I think when you get ahead on Olaf early game, right, it's just like he is basically impossible to stop, I feel.
Yeah.
But I think if you put him behind, because he doesn't really have any hard crowd control, he can sort of just be like a bit dismissed. Like, especially if he's behind, he's just like he's more like a nuisance than anything, right? Like no CC, he sort of just like runs around doing little to nothing.
Well, I mean,
That's what I
obviously,
feel.
dragon priority is obviously a huge one as well. But again, you're saying all these strengths there, but like, why is he dropped off? That's what I'm trying to figure out. So, yeah. All right. So, this is the most recent Rek'Sai game. Is that what you wanted to look at?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. So you should be able to see the game up on stream now.
Yep. Yeah.
Aiden in the chat said apparently you out jungled him yesterday.
Who was he playing?
Uh,
I can remember the game.
Yeah, let us know who you're playing, Aiden. I just realized we've got a bunch of like. So you're OS as well, right?
Yeah, I'm OC.
Oh, this is literally the OCE stream at the moment. So I'm usually got lots of NA guests. So our last caller as well was OS from South Australia. Where are you from?
I'm from New Zealand.
Gotcha. That's right. You're a Kiwi, aren't you?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So let's take quickly look at your runes first. So Halo Blaze, Cheap Shot, Eyeball Collection. Do you switch this out to Zombie Ward much? Like, what's your thought process?
Yeah. I usually use Zombie Ward, but in games where I feel like I'm going to pick up a lot of kills, I just go Eyeball Collection just for the hard snowball. Like, if you see that team, like, they're very, very squishy. They don't really have any tanks.
Yeah. I mean, you're versing a Twitch. Is that a Twitch top?
It's a Twitch top lane, yeah. Which is why I'm studying bot here.
Yeah.
Because I want to prioritize
absolutely.
That.
Great.
If we blow his flash, it's Yorick Cage, and he's instantly dead every time, which makes him have to play a lot safer. So that's the thought process behind the runes. Is I know I can get a lot of snowball this game if I get like 1 or 2 kills, because they're also squishy.
Yep, yeah, I think your runes are perfect there. That makes a lot of sense. Okay, and definitely starting bot side. So I guess going into your win condition now, this is where you want to start. You want to gank the Twitch top early, level 3 path.
Yep.
All right. So Aiden actually says you played into a Skarner. He was playing Skarner. Do you remember it?
I think he means I played Skarner, right? He picked my Rek'Sai, I played Skarner. It looks like I've played too many games and I can't even see it on my match history. It's a bit embarrassing.
All right, it's okay.
Yeah, all good.
Obviously, Aiden remembers because you obviously destroyed him.
Yeah, he's just another one of my solo queue opponents, I guess. Sorry, dude.
Okay, so you actually skipped Gromp here. Do you want to tell me a little bit about that versus skipping Wolves?
So what I don't like about doing Gromp on Rek'Sai is you have a lot of AoE damage with your Q and your W when you auto attack, right? When you come up, it does AoE. So you can clear Wolves and Raptors like I'd say like twice as fast as you can do Gromp. In my experience, I don't like doing Gromp. I feel like it takes too much health and time. So I prefer to do Wolves. And I've been trying out doing Wolves and Raptors and then Red. Just as a thing I've just been trying over like the last day or two, and I think it's fine.
Do you get more
What do you
experience? Don't you get you? I'm pretty sure you'll get more experience from doing Blue, Gromp, Wolves, Red. So technically you've done 2 normal camps versus doing 2 normal camps Red. Like I'm almost certain you'll do more. And in terms of health wise, like Rek'Sai is fine. You shouldn't worry about the health at all. I mean, only thing that I can maybe see from your point is maybe it's faster and it does have more AoE damage. But
I think the speed actually saves me here because Lee Sin, in a couple of seconds, I'm pretty sure he comes and checks my red buff. So if I'd gone to Gromp, I would be like maybe 5 seconds slow, maybe a little bit slower, something like that, and he might be able to catch me on that red buff. But because I go, I clear it faster and I get out, I managed to dodge him.
Okay, interesting. I'll think about that a little bit more. I've actually never really seen that, to be honest.
I've only just started doing that over the last 2 days. I don't know if that's optimized, but...
Yeah, I mean, in general, Gromp gives a lot of experience in gold now. Like, just clear that. Yeah. Like, Rek'Sai, sure, he still does a lot of single target damage. Like, you have Machete. That's the point of starting Machete, right? You're a single target camp killer. Yeah. That's the point of it. Maybe if you went Talisman, I could maybe see that makes a lot of sense. But, again, I just think Gromp is a go-to. Okay. So my path would have been Blue, Gromp, Wolves, Red.
Yeah, that's my normal path as well, yeah.
Just top.
But I just tried this. This is probably my second game doing this, and it's worked for me both times, so... Maybe I'll experiment with Hunter's Talisman if I'm doing this, because it could make it way much better.
Okay, so your decision to go for Krugs here. I mean, this is like the position, like this is going to start really building up. Like you're going to see a wave coming here. I want to get on this gank before this wave comes. So I think doing the Krugs here was really bad because, I mean, look at what actually happens here. Is that the wave becomes like really big. Here comes the wave. Yorick can't actually hit anything. And now you're walking into a huge wave. You don't exactly know where Lee Sin is.
Yeah.
You E in and like he gets away, you know?
Yeah.
So the fact that he's gotten away with that, the Twitch is basically like, you know, survive the lane phase now. You know, the really, really early lane phase. Like you had to at least burn a flash.
Yeah, I actually thought I did because my tremor sense didn't pick him up. Because usually, you know, when you're in proximity to invisible Twitch, you can see him. But because I'm underground, I actually can't see him, and my tremor sense picked him up. Like it looked like he flashed, so I'd assumed he'd flashed here, so I called it. Because I was just tremor sense, and I thought he'd flashed, but he actually hadn't, which is a bit of a shame.
Yeah, so I think, I mean, you could have, I think your path in it really affected that gank a lot. Just trying to be there as quickly as possible. I mean, you know, like I'm also thinking maybe you could have this game done red, Raptors, Krugs, level 3 gank.
And then gank up?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it was such a priority to go there, especially get there before Lee Sin could get there. And that path is just like, I mean, that's the level 3 path. And obviously you have E as Rek'Sai. That's really good. That's, I think, what you should have done. This just again, the fact that that was your win condition. That's another path you can do as Rek'Sai as well. So just actually just take that into account. If you think top's a win condition right here, do that path. You know, like Rek'Sai is terrifying early ganks, right?
Only thing I'd be worried about there is if Lee Sin like knows that I'm doing that three camp start top side and going top. He sees me. He just gets my whole bot side jungle.
Then you trade.
I guess that can work into a vertical jungle. Yeah.
That's fine. You want a vertical jungle. You want to trade sides of the map.
Yeah,
you have a Yuumi bot lane. What's a Yuumi Jin gonna do? Like you don't really want to be ganking that. You want to be pressuring this Twitch so much that he's not even like useful at all. So you actually want to trade. I would actually welcome Lee Sin doing
a vertical jungle. Would that be something I should consider like the mid matchup? Like if it's like, you know, a LeBlanc or a Talon, like should I be wary of that or should I just disregard?
What do you mean? Sorry.
So if we're going to be doing, say we're doing a vertical jungle, like this game converted into a vertical jungle around like me going top side of the map, him going bottom side, right? Should I be wary of the mid lane matchup? Should I be considering the mid lane matchup when I'm deciding to vertical jungle that or not?
I mean, like the mid lane sort of matters. I mean, you are into LeBlanc and she can roam pretty easily. But, I mean, that level 3 path as well, you can actually use that to gank mid as well. So you can actually do red, red Krugs, Raptors, and then gank mid, and then go bot side. That's also what you can do with that path.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you're versing a LeBlanc right here, so that's actually very difficult for a Rek'Sai to gank. But let's say if you're versing, like, you know, something else, that's also another thing. So I actually want you to start experimenting with that path. I think that's really strong as Rek'Sai right now. Really, really do.
Yeah, I'll definitely consider that in games where we have such a...
If topside's your focus...
easy gank. Yeah.
So yeah, now you gank LeBlanc here. I think this is a huge waste of time. I really do. I just think you shouldn't even be bothering with this at all. The worst thing about this, you've shown your map, you really need to clear your Gromp. You need to get levels on it. The new jungle experience, the scaling, like, this is your priority right now, not ganking a LeBlanc. Like the only...
Well, I know because I have Nimbus Cloak and I have Blue Smite, I know I can get on her if she doesn't like W like really well or like chain me early, something like that. So I managed to get a flash, which is what I was expecting.
Yeah, I mean, it's fine you got your flash, but now you're going topside and you're skipping your bot side camps. Like, there's so much more priority for you to do than burning a flash here for LeBlanc, because like now you're sort of forced to maybe potentially re-gank this, and you actually don't want to be forced to re-gank this. What you want to be doing is ganking top, you know?
Yeah.
So you've sort of put yourself into a position now. It's like, well, yeah, you've spent your time and resources on LeBlanc, and this is where you really need to be thinking about where you're putting your pressure. Do you want to even put your pressure in the first place? Think about if you burn a flash, then I'm forced to re-gank it because, you know, you've spent the resources. Do I want to do that? You know, like maybe that is the case, but
if I'm going to be sitting around topside, like anyway, it gives me possibilities for another gank mid, and like Zoe can pick up the flash, so she has 2, which makes her like incredibly safe into the Lee Sin. So I don't really, like, if I want to just ignore mid now, she's going to have double flash against a flashless mid lane, and I can just solo focus the Twitch, who I did think did have no flash, but actually does, which is just my bad.
So you see here as well, and this is what we just did in the last review as well, because you ganked mid, you're now forced out of your jungle, because you've given free information where you've gone.
Yeah.
So especially as Rek'Sai, I think we talked about this before, is that being not seen on the map is actually pressure. So sometimes showing here, like look at the consequences right now. You've been forced out your tops. Like, would you say that you burning that flash mid is worth you getting forced out of your jungle and having no pressure right now as early game Rek'Sai?
No, it's pretty bad.
Yeah.
It's pretty bad, yeah.
So you need to be very careful about where you're putting the pressure. And this is in terms of tracking the jungle as well. You don't know where Lee Sin is, even for that mid gank. What happens if he came and counter ganked?
Yeah. If he ended up counter ganking, it could have gone pretty badly.
Lee Sin is a terrifying counter gank.
Yeah.
Counter ganker, especially Lee Sin LeBlanc. I mean, 2v2, I think you guys really...
Yeah, we lose.
Yeah,
especially if it's off a counter gank. If I've blown everything to get on LeBlanc, she chains me and he gets a Q, we probably just straight up lose.
So I think this is a great example for you about why you really need to be careful where you're showing on the map as Rek'Sai. And you need to, again, think of it as, sure, you don't feel like you're doing anything, just the fact that no one can see me. A Rek'Sai, like if you ask any laner, playing against Rek'Sai, like they hate it. I think it's OP busted. Sometimes I just literally ban it because they just hate not knowing where Rek'Sai is, But now you're like free on the map. You're like saying, hey guys, I'm like 30% health, take my jungle now, all good, So Lee Sin actually suicides. I don't know why he just didn't take your jungle. That's a huge mistake from him there.
Yeah. They feel they could kill me, but like there's a Rek'Sai Lee Sin mechanic where you can knock him up before he hits you with the Q, with your W, if you press it.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, Rek'Sai I think is a good matchup into Lee Sin in a way.
Yeah.
So now you're going for the regank mid. So I really do like this. This is good.
Yeah.
Nice work.
Because we know she has no flash.
Yep.
It's just
great job.
I still held mine after that fight, so might as well just pick her up. And that secures quite a nice lead for us. And so this is where I kind of get like confused because I thought he'd burnt that flash on the first gank, and so I was like, oh, he's in that cage.
Yeah. So
and then he just.
I'm wondering why you're not waiting for E right now. Like you're literally walking into this gank without E.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So yeah, I mean this is the importance of knowing summoner spells, right?
Yeah. I just assumed because of how the tremor sense had worked that he'd flashed, and Yorick hadn't been like, no, he didn't. So I was like, yeah, it must have been a flash, but yeah, whatever.
Okay,
so if Twitch was up here, I still have E over the wall, but he doesn't. He plays nice and back. So look
at that top gank. You've lost Dragon off that as well.
Yeah, I think if his flash had been down and we get a kill and lots of turret damage because he has no TP, it would have been fine. Yeah, but because his flash was still up and he just flashes away, like at least he has no flash now, but we lose Dragon, which is obviously not ideal.
Yeah, and again, it always just goes back, and this is why you really need to start thinking about, like, I don't know if you were thinking about actually intentionally trading Dragon for it beforehand, but creating your jungle path around Dragon, creating like sure, top can be your win condition, but try and still think of ways, but like, okay, I'm ganking top here, it's my win condition, but I will maybe lose Dragon off it, and then just have that consciously thinking, is it worth it? I mean, right there, if you were thinking that, it's worth it. I agree with you. Twitch didn't have Flash. Get your Warwick ahead, shut down the Twitch, but this is just little things that you need to sort of add to your gameplay if you want to, start really climbing to that Diamond Plus level. Yeah. All right, let's pretty much your early game here, Joe. Yeah. Do you have any other questions about that, or?
I mean, I guess the early game pathing, Hunter's Talisman, I thought was a really good suggestion. So if I was to do this sort of clear where I was going blue, wolves, raptors, red with Hunter's Talisman, that would be very, very fast.
No, it wouldn't, because you actually don't have Machete to kill red, because that's going to be so slow. Think about it.
Yeah, I guess you do lose 25 off every auto. But the speed you make up on the rep... Yeah, no, because Machete is 25 on auto, right? Additional damage?
I don't know the math, but I just know it's 100% a lot faster killing buffs,
Yeah. I'm just thinking the speed that we make up on raptors and wolves. I'm not sure. I have to time it.
So, Joe, I think you should really just not focus on that too much. Like, I think you're overthinking theory crafting and stuff like that. Just go with what works. And I tell you what works right now. Blue, Gromp, wolves, red, top gank, or pressure. You know what I mean? Okay. Or Krugs and base. Like, I really... want you to more put your effort and energy and focus into like clean up your early path in, making sure you're understanding where you're ganking. Like these are very little things that in the grand scheme of getting to Diamond, like it doesn't matter too much. Like if you can come up with some crazy path, like, but I mean, maybe I can see it working, but I just don't think it still is worth it. I mean, just clear your Gromp. It is such a good camp to be getting, get the levels on it. That's good. All right, Joe, well, I'm going to let you go now. Hopefully that was helpful for you.
Yeah.
And I'll see you next time.
Nothing rush. Yep.
All right, cool. So that was guest number 2. Quickly take a look at chat here. So Poltron says, not taking Gromp/Krugs will slow down your do lead since you haven't reset them. Do you mean certain experience in gold? That's not really English, Poltron. Don't understand you. But yeah, I mean, clear Gromp. I think it was super important. If you're not clearing Gromp or Krugs when you're on either sides of the map, you're missing out on so much experience in gold. There's just no reason not to do it. Okay, so next guest is going to be Gekko. I'm going to drag him in a second. Let's get in his game up here. Gekko. Phone auto XP leads. Yeah, absolutely. I saw a challenger go Wolves, Gromp, Red on red team. Is that a thing? Seems inefficient. I mean, I would need to look at the game and what he actually does off it. You know, like, yes, that is an inefficient path in a holistic, like, general League of Legends sense, because he's doing Wolves and, like, you know, not doing his blue on that side when he's there. But I mean, you know, maybe it's sometimes you can do crazy jungle paths if you have a very good plan around it, like. You can pull anything off in the jungle. But the way I teach and what I talk about is just consistency and playing, making sure you're not doing just weird things that completely, like, Challenger's a different game. That's what you need to understand. When you play Challenger, you're playing against sometimes the same players all the time. You're playing like mind games, but in lower elos and stuff like that, like, you are just playing different people all the time. You know, just do solid paths that aren't going to stuff up, that you know work. Great, you know, it will work. All right, I'm going to drag Gekko in now. All right, Gekko, you are muted if you're listening on the stream. All right, can you hear me all good?
Yeah, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Excellent. All right, so you're returning guest. You came on the last show. How's your games been going so far, Gekko, since then?
Okay, I guess I have been winning a lot lately, so I guess that's a plus.
Great. Do you know why you're winning? Like, winning is good, but really getting down to, like, what are you doing well? Sometimes you need to focus, like, what am I doing well, you know?
Efficiency. Fuck. What's the word that you play?
Efficiency.
Efficiency.
Yeah.
That I have XP leads always on the enemy jungle.
So you're always 2 levels ahead, plus... I mean, as Kayn as well. So obviously, I mean, for anyone who doesn't know, Gekko here is a Kayn player. Efficiency on Kayn is so important. So that's really good to hear. You'll just win games just from having level leads. I'm telling you, as Red Kayn, like, Red Kayn scales really well. And efficiency is super important as Kayn. All right, so taking a look at your game here. You should be able to see it on the stream now, Gekko.
There's a delay. Hold on. Okay, I see it now.
Okay, so...
This was my first time playing against Wukong jungle, so I had no idea what kind of path was gonna do.
Yeah.
So I guess he has that machete, so I guess he's gonna do 3 camps in the gank. I guess I had no idea because I haven't really played this matchup before.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely a very weird pick in the jungle. I don't think I've played against many Wukong junglers at all, but I would always assume Wukong, really good single target damage, probably would start Machete. He's just going to do a level 3 pass, so potentially start Red, but we'll actually take a look here and see where he did start looking at lanes early game. So you are versing a pretty sort of slipperish comp. I mean, obviously Wukong's pretty slippery with his W, Zed's pretty slippery. Senna and Thresh, like, I mean, obviously Senna and Thresh, that's very hard for you to gank early as a Jhin, right? But, I mean, you do have a Leona and Jhin, but yeah, I think that bot's definitely very difficult for you to gank in terms of early stages. What are you thinking in terms of, I mean, in terms of, like, I think we talked about this before as well, as Kayn, you really don't need to worry too much about win condition. Like, you are the win condition. So you need to just be efficient, like as Gekko was saying, like that's how he's been winning games, just being efficient. And then sort of let's see how the game's going, and then you can sort of pick a lane or area that you want to pressure. So you're going Conqueror here. Yep, standard rune, sudden impact, Ravenous Hunter. Alright, cool. Alright, so coming in to defend blue. Chuck in a ward here. Just assume you're going to start red. They actually do an invade here. Okay. So let's see what happens there. Looks like they back off here.
I think Garen dies and Wukong gets the first blood. There's a delay on, so I need to catch up with the stream.
Okay, well that's actually
Wukong.
that's actually not too bad for you, Gekko, because Wukong is really delayed in his clear now. Even though he got the clear, like he took some damage in terms of health. Like he's obviously gone to start blue now, and like this is actually pretty good for you. I would actually be thinking right now to like do some counter jungling. Like, do your Krugs, Raptors, and then come here and do some counter jungling. So you say
into top side?
Yeah, into top side, yeah.
Okay.
Because I know that Wukong is going to need to base soon. Because he got pretty low from that fight, and he is like a Wukong, you know? So doing a pretty efficient path here. This is fine. Raptors. So yeah, in terms of tracking the enemy jungler, like right now, you know that Kayn, Wukong's top side. So yeah, so right now, what I would do is potentially literally walk into his jungle and just see what's going on. Does that make sense, Gekko?
Yeah, but I never really invade with Kayn. I guess I need to add to my...
Well, yeah, you're right, and you shouldn't. But in this specific scenario... And this is, again, just learning to adapt during the gameplay. Like, if you want to push it a little bit, like, I mean, what you're doing here is still fine. But, again, knowing that Wukong is going to be low because he was, like, 30% health after that level 1 thing, like, punish him for it. You know what I mean? So let's actually take a look at where Wukong is. And look at this. He's right now in his red. Imagine if you came here. You could have taken his red and killed him. Or burnt his flash.
Okay, delay. Need to sec to catch up.
Yep.
Okay, and I see it now. Yeah, he was pretty low. Like, I watched the VOD a couple of times the early game, and the Wukong did really weird bad. He like took Raptors and stuff, and then we went for the bot scuttle straight from his red side, top side.
Okay, yeah, that's really not good. So, yeah. So basically, I mean, what you're doing here is fine, Gekko, but all I'm saying is you could have pressured him and punished him for that level 1 invade a bit more. But in general, this is fine. This is fine. All right, so just clearing. Ganking top now. I do like this gank. No, I don't like this gank. Okay, so you always need to be careful. So when you're ganking as Kayn early game without red buff, it's incredibly difficult. And what I don't like about this is that you are actually setting yourself up right now. Like if this gank doesn't go well, you're setting yourself up to lose your second Krugs, you know? And letting the Wukong like get back into this game. So I really just think you should just do Gromp and then just base to do Krugs. I think that's the most efficient here. You have a Malphite here. Like, Malphite's not going to be doing insane amounts of damage. You don't have red buff as a Kayn. Set's relatively tanky. So I think this is actually a lot of, like, momentum. You lose a lot of momentum here.
Okay.
So just like, that's the rule you need to think. You need to think, okay, I'm a Kayn without red buff anymore. Can I gank this? Is it going to work? Are we going to get a kill? I mean, you do burn the flash, which is okay. But I think that, again, the efficiency priority on Kayn. Gromp, your Krugs are just spawned, come down, get your second Krugs. Get them off the map as quickly as possible. You'll, start generating a very good lead over Wukong. You just, like, Kayn's one of the fastest junglers in the game. You just clear way faster than him.
Was it okay to ignore bot lane completely? Like, they were pretty pressured from the Wukong ganks at early game.
So you're looking to ignore them like now, or when Wukong starts ganking them?
I mean, like, at the start of the game, because you said in the previous VOD review I sent you, the first one I did, you said Dress is pretty hard to gank as melee.
Oh, okay. Game. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, don't really look to gank. Like, I want you to go bot side just to clear your camps. I don't want you actually to gank a Thresh center before level 6.
Okay.
I just want you to keep power farming. That's basically what I'm trying to tell you here. Farm. Right, so where did you buy a control ward from that base, by the way? That's let's take a look at this.
I guess I didn't. I'm not.
You couldn't afford one. Yeah, you couldn't afford one. That's fine.
That was.
Because I was just thinking you could place it up here. Because again, I sort of want information on where Wukong is right now. So you know that Wukong is probably most likely bot side. Maybe moving to his top side jungle. Let's actually take a look at where he is. So he actually is in his top side jungle right now. So yeah, so this is... Okay, you actually... So in general, Gekko as well, whenever you're walking up here, as Kayn specifically, because you're really good at counter jungling Raptors, just check Raptors. There's no harm in taking the extra 1 or 2 seconds, check it, then look to go do a gank or something like that. You actually would have found Wukong on here.
Okay.
Got it? So like always be thinking, like, don't make it a super priority, but whenever you're around, counter jungle Raptors as Kayn. Super, super good for you. You clear it like in lightning speed.
Okay. Yeah, I need to do that in the future.
All right, awesome. You get like literally 2 kills here. You push this in. All right, this is really good for you for snowballing. You're level 6k now. Okay, this is very important what you do here. Okay, yep, clear. I potentially maybe would have... No, this is fine. I mean, Wukong's dead. He wasn't going to get Rift Scuttler. Take Rift Scuttler, base, and then go bot side. Okay, you're actually going for a regank.
This game goes similarly to the Warwick game where I get Rift Herald and break mid tower around 12 minutes.
Okay, we probably won't go that far, but in terms of...
Okay.
Right now, like, I don't think it's worth ganking this Zed at all. In terms of momentum and tempo for you as Kayn, like, you're doing really good right now. How much gold do you have? You have 1,700 gold. Base, buy your warrior, go straight bot side and look to pressure dragon. I don't think, like, what I don't want here is you to show on mid, because what that's going to give here is, like, sure, you might get the kill, but that gives Wukong an opportunity to enter your jungle and camp it or something like that, you know?
Okay.
I don't want to give the Wukong any room. You don't want to be giving him any room. You've been really efficient so far this game. Like, just keep it going. No reason to risk throwing your lead, you know?
Okay.
So yeah, after Rift Scuttler base straight away, buy your warrior. It's a huge item spike. Always buy that when you can. Get 2 control wards. Come down here, get control wards first. There's a rule that I talk about in terms of getting vision first, then do your camps. Because I know that all your jungle camps are up bot side, but you want to just get some vision here. Make sure Wukong's stealing dragon here, and it will also just put some pressure on the Zed and relieve some pressure for your Garen. So I think that was the best thing for you to do right here instead of gank mid. So you see, like, look how useless you are. I mean, you don't have damage. See, and then the worst part about this now, Gekko, is you've stayed on the map and you haven't spent your gold yet. Yeah. So this is actually really, really, really bad for your momentum, because now you're going to be forced to base and then go topside, you know?
Okay.
Or like, let's say a gank is happening here. Okay, so I think you're very lucky here, Gekko. Like, this shouldn't have happened. So, yeah, you need to view that as a huge mistake, not basing for your warrior. Like, yes, you get dragon off this and it looks like it works. And this is the trap you can fall into, is thinking, I won this game. Like, I didn't make any mistakes. But not basing off that Rift Scuttler was a huge mistake. Really big mistake.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that all make sense?
Yeah, makes sense. Tempo, right. I guess.
Tempo, momentum, efficiency.
Ultron you talked about yesterday.
Absolutely.
Buying new items and stuff.
Yep, and remember, warrior, huge item spike, 2 controls is super important. Need to be getting those as much as possible. All right, Gekko, that's going to be it for your early game jungle review. Do you have any other questions or anything like that before we move to the next guest?
No, not at the moment.
Great. All right, thanks, Gekko. Thanks for coming on again. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. See ya.
All right, cool. That was Gekko's Kayn game. Yeah, so Kayn, efficiency. And tempo is really important, especially, I mean, in general, League of Legends in general, but especially, you know, when you're looking to buy the warrior. Okay, so our next guest here is going to be Captain Chunk. I'm just going to log on to North America now, get his game up. I'll take a quick look at chat. If you guys have any questions in the chat, now's the time to ask them. Yes, unfortunately, Poltron, you're not going to be able to come on tonight's show, which I was thinking of, like, literally starting a potential series or something like that. Poltron's road back to master. It's like everyone can get behind your journey back to master. Yeah, just so what you want to do, Beres, is just, yeah, when we go on, you just mute the stream and watch it through the stream. There's like a 5-second delay, but it should be fine. Okay. All right, we're going to drag in our next guest now. Captain Chuck, you're muted. Great. Can you hear me all good?
Yep, I'm good.
Awesome. All right. First time on the show. You've had a rough week, Captain Chunk. We're going to go over this. We're going to fix your gameplay. We're going to get you to gold. All right.
Sounds good.
Instead of calling you Captain Chunk, what's your name and where are you calling from?
Andrew from North America.
Andrew?
Yep.
All right, cool. So which Jarvan game was it you wanted me to look over?
The most recent one.
Okay, 8-10. Yep, gotcha. Yep. All right. So, yeah, I mean, obviously you've shared a lot of frustration in the Discord over the last week. Like, what do you think, like, you talk a lot about in terms of, like, your Jarvan, you feel like you mess up ganks and stuff. Like, have you thought about it a bit more? Do you know why, or you're still just lost?
Well, when I first started playing him this season, like, I think the frustration comes, for my first, like, 12 or 13 games, I had probably, like, an 80 to 90% win rate. Like, I could not loot. And I was like, wow, this champion's probably for me. I'm going to keep going. And then all of a sudden, it's like a 30 or 40% win rate. But when I'm playing the game, I make like stupid decisions. Like you reviewed the one game I did where I went after the Pantheon, I think, and it was like I went way too deep but got it in the end. Like I keep doing plays like that, thinking like, okay, I'm Jarvan, my ganks are amazing. I'm just going to go in and get something. And then I die, they die. And I like throw the game right away, like pretty much first 10 minutes of the game, like I'm the reason we lost.
So the thing is that you know that, but you still do it. Like why? So is it?
I guess I'm seeing things and thinking they're like it's probably like I should be waiting for like the 70-80%, like you said, and I'm like thinking it's maybe like a 60. I'm like, oh, I can get this, and it's probably a. So I think I'm just assessing the ganks wrong.
Yeah, and that's the trap to fall into. Just because you're a good champion with ganking doesn't matter. It doesn't mean you can get away with bad decision making. You know, like you still need to think about your ganks and visualize in your head how it's going to play out. Because sometimes, like you fall into the track. Like I'm a Jarvan, like I just kill everyone. Like that's just not the case. Like if someone's under their tower, you know, you're tower diving, like you're gonna die if you don't set it up properly. You know. So we'll take a look, and I'm super fascinated to see your gameplay here, Andrew, because is this a game where you do like things like that you're talking about?
Yeah, well, no, I this is a game I thought I did better, and I wanted to see whether or not you think that I'm actually doing better, because I know when I'm doing bad, like I'll die.
Okay, yeah.
And die. I'm like, okay, that was dumb. Like, I don't know why I tried to go for it. Like, I forced this one. I tried to like, be a little bit more reserved and like be patient with my EQ, like you were talking about before. But maybe I was too reserved at times. I don't know. It was a game that was kind of back and forth, and all of a sudden at like 20 minutes, and I know we're not going to get that far, it just like fell off a cliff. So I thought maybe there was a point where I could get more ahead. And I know like halfway through the first 20 minutes, I'm like, my win condition was bought, and I haven't been there like forever. So
okay, yeah. So yeah, tell me a little bit about your what you're thinking right here in terms of an early jungle path.
Yeah, I started top because I figured that they would be pushing back and forth being a caster for both supports. So I want to stay away from kind of the set Mordekaiser because they'll just fight it out. And then path bot side, get the gank there and then get ready for dragon. But I think they ended up actually pushing to tower, and the Lux was having a lot of trouble with the Yasuo. And I figured he's slippery enough that I probably don't want to look there.
Yeah.
Maybe that was wrong.
No, you're correct there. But the thing I think I disagree with you here is you actually really should have pressured this Mordekaiser before he gets level 6. That's always something you can do, especially Jarvan set. Like, you guys should just slaughter this Jarvan. And you also win hard 2v2 versus a Kayn and a Mordekaiser. Like, I want you to... I do think that bot is good. I mean, obviously, bot's always good to pressure with Dragon. But, I mean, the fact that you are versus... And it was funny, we actually had a brand on the first... review we did, and brands almost always push because they have like a lot of pressure. They hit AoE things with like their W and stuff. Like obviously these guys are pretty good at pushing as well, but like I would have started red here, blue, Gromp, and look at top right now. I mean, look at what's going on here. You'll be able to see in the stream a little bit, but they're hard traded. This is just free kills.
Right.
Get your set snowballing, you know?
I guess I'm really bad at judging like the top lane, because usually if it's not like a super like volatile lane, I'll be like, I'll just stay away from that. And I know in other games, like there'll be times where I won't gank top at all.
Well, yeah, sometimes definitely, but like in general, Mordecai's like this is one thing you've learned here. You can pressure if you're, let's say if you got a Darius or a Set or someone that is like really strong, can like literally become like a 1 versus 5 champ, like an Aurelia. Just shut down this Mordekaiser. And the great thing about this right here is that Mordekaiser just died. He's gonna have to burn TP, and he's burnt Flash. So there's a lot you can do top here, which is really good. But I mean, like let's say you actually wouldn't be able to make it here anyway. The Mordekaiser, the Set has just killed him, but potentially could have even killed him when he TP's back. Yeah, you actually, I mean, I think you could have. Look at this guy, he just TP'd back. If you were here, this guy's dead. If you did that red, blue, Gromp path. And right. Mordekaiser's like top lane, especially in bronze, they don't respect junglers at all. Like this is why I say play champs like Jarvan, because everything's a free kill. If you think about it, you know, if you really think about it, like you can get free kills everywhere.
Right. And when I'm clearing with Jarvan, I feel like I get way too low. So I don't know if you want to like look at the way I do my camps, or is it just a Jarvan thing?
Yeah. So it is a little bit of a Jarvan thing in terms of starting blue, because you just obviously don't have the healing. But it's really just wolves. So yeah, kill the small ones first. I mean, you could be kiting these a little bit better. So yeah, you need to just slowly walk your way constantly. Like yes, kill the small ones first. Walk, like hit, walk, like kite the camps, and then you should be pretty low health there, and then you just walk there, and you're going to reduce your damage taken, and also you're going to get to your next camp faster.
Okay.
It's a little bit hard to explain just by using my voice, but if I think so, I have some Jarvan gameplay videos on my channel you can look at, my clearing. But yeah, in general, Jarvan's clear sort of sucks in terms of health, in terms of doing 3 camp topside with the blue buff. So I also try and avoid that path a little bit on Jarvan as well, because yeah, I'm aware that I get low from it.
You normally do what, red, blue, Gromp?
Well, again, it all depends on where you want to pressure in the win condition, but yeah, I think the best path for Jarvan is red, blue, Gromp into top gank, or the other side. But again, there's so many variables. Sometimes you actually do want to start blue. But again, my premise here is I try to avoid it. That's the key thing there. But if I have to do it, I have to do it. But again, in this game, definitely should have 100% done that path. And you actually wanted to go top because that was your win condition. So let's actually take a look here. And look at this again. This is such a good example. Imagine if you were here. You've got a Kayn and Mordekaiser. Like, the game just win. You just win the game here 100%. Mm-hmm. You know? Okay, so you obviously see Kayn, and you're looking to get some deep wards here. You're checking his jungle.
And this is usually the part where I get lost. Because if there's no gank mid or bot, then I'm like, what do I do?
So we have talked about this a little bit. Well, I mean, you're doing it right now. You're counter ganking. This is one of the options. Okay, so I think you mechanically...
Yeah, I saw him coming and I came...
Yeah, so this is good. It's a good idea. I mean, you obviously see Kayn here, but you mechanically misplay this. Why don't you EQ onto Yas right here? You see this?
I have to wait for it to catch up.
Yeah. Let me know when you see it. Like, he's locked down. This is 100% easy EQ combo.
I think that was one of the areas where trying to not be as aggressive with my EQs.
Yeah,
I held it.
okay, I get where you're coming from. So yeah, so there is a fine line. This is where Jarvan mastery comes. Sometimes you need to be super aggressive and EQ. Sometimes you hold it, and it's sort of, I can't tell you how to do it. It's sort of intuition. Like, this is a situation where you're gonna get a free EQ off. Just do it. Just do the damage. Right. You're gonna lock him up. You'll save your Lux as well. Like, that's the other thing as well. Sometimes you need to do an instant EQ to save your teammates.
Yeah, and I think if I hadn't gone into the mindset of like I'm being too aggressive, I probably would have.
Yeah, so now you're too far. So you need to find that balance, Andrew, in between. So you're really too far on the reserve side. You're like, hold EQ. Like, Nathan told me not to throw it. Like, yes and no, you know? Like, this is why League's not just simple, one answer fits all. So your Lux does die here, but you should get this kill. Oh, he's trying to juke your... Oh, no. All right. So let's see how you use your W here. All right. So you don't use your W if they're not hitting you. Okay? So you actually do use W here. You see how you use W? Like, they're not on you. And you don't really want to be slowing them. Like, they're all in melee range right now. Imagine if you had the slow right now. W slow him. This is a dead Kayn. You know?
Right.
So that's another very small micro thing, mechanical thing. So you do base here, and you get red trinket. I do like that you're going red trinket here. You're into a Kayn, yes, Mordekaiser. But you're going bot side. Okay, so you haven't cleared Krugs yet. I assume that you're going top side because you want to pressure bot. Is that what you're doing? You're looking to go bot, like, full
Yeah,
clear
I was
down?
gonna do it. Yep. Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, I guess that looking at this lane, like, this is actually going to push back. So you sort of right, but in general, the rule of thumb, like, you need to get Krugs before 5 minutes.
Right.
Like, figure out a way
And
to
the
do it.
idea was, I think, because Dragon was coming up, so I'm like, I need to get my top down so that I
Yeah.
can get over to Dragon.
So I think you've done the right move here, but I really don't like the fact that you haven't cleared Krugs yet.
It probably stems from
Again,
starting wrong in the
it stems from all these things adding up. I mean, I'm thinking now, looking at your early path, like, I don't think, based on what happened mid and everything like that, you actually had an opportunity to do Krugs, but these are the consequences, again, of just not pathing correctly. Because let's say if you ganked top, then you could just base, went bot side, cleared Krugs, clear up, and then Dragon will be up, and then you base and go drag, you know?
Right.
Alright, so I like the control wards. I love the rule here you're applying. You, even though your Raptors up, get vision first, then go do your camps or pressure the map. Okay, so this is a little bit risky. So you're coming down here right now. Like, I wouldn't be hitting this Yas at all. Like, there's no way you're going to kill this guy. Like, literally impossible. You don't have any AD items, and this is where you need to account for Jarvan as well. Do you have the damage to, like, be impactful? Like, the answer is no. Like, you're not going to kill this guy. All you're going to do here is he's going to do a lot more damage than you can do to him, and then you're going to be forced out of your jungle. And then you potentially can't do Krugs anymore. So all you have to do here is just, like, even just walk through it. Oh, actually, not even. You probably need to EQ over the wall, come defend. Like, this is a huge wave. You guys, the priority right here is you just need to clear this wave. Don't go for any kills right now. It's 2 versus 3.
Right.
So this is the rules that you've, like, missed here is you've gone in, you haven't assessed how much damage you have. You haven't assessed that you're versing a level 5 Yas. And you have a numbers disadvantage. And you die for it. You know?
Mm-hmm. Should I have even been like here, or should I just be clearing camps?
No, you definitely need to protect your Lux to get that wave. So they could easily dive her. Just make sure the wave's done and then go do your camps. Because you need, like, getting that huge wave is really important. And because there's a huge wave, that means the enemy team can, you know, dive very easily. So does that make sense?
Yeah. And I think they end up eventually getting Dragon off of that as well.
Okay, so you actually go straight bot side, and this is great for you because they were gonna have to base now. Misfortune died; they overstayed. Like, this is, you're punishing their mistakes because they overstayed. Kayn's mid, you know, Lux is here, but she's pretty low. I think it's a really good move to do Dragon here. You have bot priority here. Kayn shouldn't be able to contest. Okay, actually, this is a little bit iffy. All right, so I'm thinking here, maybe they actually had a lot of time. You didn't actually count for the time enough. So I feel like this pushes us out. We do Dragon. Because the thing about this is they know you're doing Dragon, right? So there's nothing
Right.
secret about this. Like, you haven't exactly set this up correctly. Like, it's a pretty risky play, to be honest. Your Lux is in base. I mean, I guess that the enemy team has based, but they based a little bit a while ago. Like, yeah, Misfortune's here now, and Yas is coming. So this is actually pretty greedy, to be honest. Like, you're going to be in a smite battle. I really like that you just turned there. That was actually pretty good, but you actually, yeah, lose Dragon off this. Yeah.
Right.
This is just not setting it up correctly at all.
So what, should I just, like, let it go and go path top to bot again and hope it's set up for that?
So let's go all the way back here. Yeah, I mean, looking at it now, well, actually, no, let's go back further. So yeah, so this is where you decided to just go straight for Dragon. So you see Kayn bot. Your blue's up, top Rift Scuttler's up. I think that what you do here is you just sort of do Raptors, Rift Scuttler, like, Kayn's going to be bot side, even potentially take his Raptors, hit this Scrying Plant, do your blue, base, your red, everything's going to be back up, then go for Dragon. And I don't even think they're going to get it. Like a Kayn's not good. Like the fact that you have bot priority, Lux is going to be back on the map. Like they shouldn't be able to get Dragon. You can be a lot more patient and set this up correctly. I think this is a huge risk you don't need to take. Does that make sense?
Yeah. You said to do the Raptors like when I saw Kayn and then just go bot from there? Or
No,
I mean, top?
Yeah, top. Yeah. Rift Scuttler, if he's still... Because you actually had a bit of vision here. Do maybe even counter jungler's Raptors because he's going to be doing his blue side because he started blue buff, right? And you know that from... you should know that from seeing Kayn where he was... he ganked your set top.
Right.
At around 3:30, 4. That means that he started blue. So his blue is going to be up. He's going to be doing his blue. He's not going to be top side to do his red. So you actually had an opportunity to counter jungle. Even I actually think you could have counter jungled Raptors, Krugs, literally ignored top side, and then literally just base and go straight for Dragon.
Okay.
And then like again, because like the good thing about this is you would be denying the experience and gold from Kayn. I mean, there's no threat of Kayn stealing your topside jungle, right? Especially if you're going down to Dragon here and then go to Dragon, because then he will be topside and he'll be like, wait, he'll be scratching his head. Where's my jungle camps? Where's like, I'm doing my red buff. And you're just like, oh, cool. I've stolen it and I'm taking Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
So that's like pretty like advanced sort of stuff. Like that's, I mean, the obvious move is just to Rift Scuttler, clear bot side, top side, and then do Dragon, and then basically do Dragon. But that is more of a situation where you should know that Kayn's bot side doing blue, I have an opportunity to take his top side jungle, and
Okay.
then I can base and just go bot and just ignore my top side camps, and I can get those later. Oh, so I hope that didn't go too over your head, Andrew. Let me know if that didn't make sense.
No, that's fine. The problem for me then is I have to get good at tracking and knowing where they are.
Yeah, that's right.
I wouldn't have thought of.
Yeah, so 7 minutes plus means that their second jungle camp is back up. Okay, so they most likely will be there. So you always think, okay, they set. So you always pay attention which side of the map do they end up after their first clear, which means they started the other side, right? So Kayn, so the Kayn ganked here earlier. What was it? 3 minutes. Okay, he ganked right here 3 minutes, right? So this means he started blue buff. So you count this, and now you think at this stage, okay, put at the back of your mind, he started blue buff. So at 7 minutes, I have an opportunity to do something there, or I can maybe go to his top side or something like that. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yep.
So it's just something you like just plant in the back of your mind. You might not do anything off it, and sometimes you won't. Most of the time you probably won't. But in this situation there, you actually had the opportunity to do that.
Okay.
All right, so yeah, so that pretty much wraps up the early game here. Yeah, the whole point there is just setting up your objectives properly. I actually made a video this week about why it's so important to set up Dragon correctly, and the guy that I did the review of, actually he's coming on the show, Browse. He literally lost the game because he didn't set up Dragon properly, and that's what will happen in Diamond. In Bronze, like not so much, but you need to really take into account a lot of factors for setting up Dragon.
The big one is priority. I'm assuming, like if I don't have priority in
Priority
both
is the
lanes,
biggest
then
one.
I need to start right.
Yeah. Well, sometimes you can just do it with priority in, let's say, in bot lane, because you just have the numbers advantage because you got 2 members versus, let's say, if they have mid priority, they only have 1. But yeah, it's a lot of things like clear vision before it, so they know that they're not doing it. Sometimes you can actually bait Dragon, and you can literally be like, "Hey, I'm doing I've cleared all your vision. I got controllers. I've sweeped it. I'm going to pretend that we're doing Dragon," and then someone walks in, you just get the kill, and then you get Dragon off it as well.
Mm-hmm.
So there's lots of little things you can do.
All right, sounds good. Thank you.
All right, Andrew, hopefully that was helpful. We're going to closely track your progress over the next couple of weeks, okay? We're getting you out of bronze.
All right, sounds good.
All right, see you later, Andrew.
See it.
All right, cool. So we have 2 more guests here. We have Beerus, who's coming on, the SaaS review that I just talked about that I did on my channel about Dragon setup, and then Barkley, and that will be it for this episode. So I'm going to log back onto OS now, and then I'll drag Beerus in. I'll quickly look at chat now. What do you think about ganking Set? I feel like he's just way too damn good at 1v2s, even pay any attention to. I mean, potentially, again, sort of depends on the matchup. Lots of things, but yes. Champs like Set, Darius, Renekton, like those champs, like you need to have good conditions to gank them. Like if, let's say if you've got like a Vlad or a Ryze on your team, like you're going to lose 2v2 or even 1v2. But in terms of that, again, that game, like ganking that Mord was free for the Jarvan because he had the Set. So sometimes ganking Set lanes and those type of lanes are also very good because then you can just leave them on an island. They can do their 1v2 business and then you can just go do stuff bot. Is that an Omnistone Kayn? I actually didn't check. I've never seen that before. I actually don't even really know how Omnistone works, to be honest. Alright, you burn EQ on Jarvan when it's guaranteed. Yeah, for chances to miss it, definitely look to hold it. But sometimes you just need to take the risk and go for the EQ Jarvan combo. Okay, let's get on to Beerus now. Alright, Beerus, you're on the air. Can you hear me all good?
Yeah, man. How you going?
Going good. What's your name and whereabouts? You're from Oss, right? Whereabouts are you calling from Oss?
Queensland, like Brisbane. So. Wait, is that what you're asking?
Yeah, and your name?
Yeah. Aaron.
Aaron. And how do you pronounce your IGN? Is it Beerus or Beerus?
Yeah, just Beerus.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, I'll call you Aaron from now on. Okay.
Yeah, easy.
So the game you want me to take a look at is, what's your IGN again?
Scion ARA, so like Sayonara. It was just a game like the Graves game where I had to like 1v9 the game, but I just need to like know if I did anything wrong because games like that where if I make a mistake I lose, it's kind of optimal to know what to do properly, I guess.
Absolutely. So wait, what was your scoreline for the Graves game?
Just the top one, the 18-1.
Okay. Well, that's a really hard carry score. Wait, so you're currently, even though you want to be unranked, you're Diamond 4, like that's your highest right now. And
no. I wasn't Diamond 4. I wasn't Diamond 4. I was Plat. Sorry.
Oh, okay. That Silas review I did.
Oh wait, what?
Oh,
that's not me.
Oh, that's not you. Oh, okay.
No,
I got super
that's not
confused
me.
there. Ah.
Wait, Nathan Mott. Yeah, that wasn't me.
Confusing with
Sorry.
you with someone else. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Wait, what was the IGN of that account? Browse. Yeah, that's not me.
Oh, Browse Beerus. Yeah. What am I talking about? Okay.
Yeah. Sorry. All good.
Okay. So, what elo are we hovering around here? What's this?
This is like low gold, I think. It's just like a pretty much fresh account. It says like silver, like high silver, low gold game. Yeah. But it was like kind of hard because I had like 3 losing lanes. I'm pretty sure.
So let's start with your runes and we'll talk about your win conditions. So you're going Fleet of Footwork, that's pretty standard on Graves, Triumph, Alacrity, Cut Down. Okay, I don't think I've ever seen this before. What's your logic?
It was so Coup de Grace is for like obviously for like you finish. This is what Tarzan was saying. Sorry, I watched a guide on him and he said Cut Down's good for frontline Graves.
Okay.
And you go Fleet so you can build like tankier. So I went Cut Down just so I can frontline more.
Interesting.
But that's just what he said. So I was just testing it out.
Yeah. So this is sort of a thing where, like, obviously Tarzan's super high rank challenger, right? And he plays the game and thinks about the game, like, sort of just doesn't really apply too much. Like, Last Stand and Coup de Grace, they're just like the better just go to. Like, sure, you can play frontline Graves and stuff like that. You know, be the low health thing, but I mean, you need to really know what you're doing for that. I mean, I don't know how experienced you are on Graves, but that's for like super advanced Graves players.
Alright, so I should just stick to Coup de Grace probably.
Coup de Grace or Last Stand. The fact that you're versing pretty squishy-ish comps here. I mean, Last Stand works really well on Graves because it just makes your skirmishing like a lot better. Actually, I just realized I haven't switched to the thing now. Alright, the game should be up on stream now. Yeah, I think this is a Coup de Grace game. Oh, maybe a Last Stand game. Easy. I actually don't know. It's actually 50-50. Whatever you feel like preference.
Alright.
Because you are versing a bit of melee champs. I really like to take it into like a jungle matchup where I think we're going to be fighting a bit. And I guess you're versing the Diana jungle, which is a bit strange. She has Conqueror. Well, actually, I think
Yeah.
Last Stand would do well for you here.
All right.
Okay, then you go Nimbus Cloak and Absolute Focus. Tell me about, why do you go Absolute Focus?
It's just for like I've literally just like looked at like Graves plays, and I'm like on the main Discord, like the Graves main Discord, and that's what they all run.
Okay.
So I'm not 100% sure about the reasoning, but I guess it's just for like better dueling.
Yeah, I would definitely.
Yeah.
It's more just you need to think about over water walking, right?
Yeah.
Actually, no, sorry, you don't have water walking in this tree.
Yeah, you do. Water
Oh,
walking.
you
At the
do?
bottom.
Yeah, what am I talking about?
Yeah, middle bottom. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think that the river controls of junglers is super important. I mean, yeah,
Right.
sort of makes sense, but yeah, the
Yeah,
problem when I see a lot about those like super theory crafting based, like, oh, this is the best routes for this chant, this chant, this chant. People just overthink things too much, and like
Yeah.
it's like the most basic thing. It's like water walking. Like, sure, Absolute Focus might help you skirmish or whatever better, but like you're a jungler. Let's just get river control. Let's get early drags. Like, great.
Yeah.
Versus like theory crafting things. So, I mean, your runes are still here fine, but I'll just be cautious of the theory crafters out there.
All right. Easy.
Okay, so you are going. So yeah, talk about a little bit about what you're thinking of in terms of early games. Let's go way back. They actually invade.
Yeah. So I get a deep ward on the red, just so I want to know where Diana starts because I'm
Yep.
not really sure where she starts. So I get a deep ward, recall, get a sweeper. And then I'm actually like duoed with the Bard this game, and then I asked them to check my red for me, and then they're invading, so I just go from blue to red. So pretty much just like split the map, I guess.
Yep. So yeah, that's fine. So Dinah actually is bot. So I'd be looking right now, like, what's going on here, bot? Do you use F keys much?
Yeah, I use F keys a lot. Yeah.
Great. So looking at Summoner heals, like Caster just burnt heal. This is so good. The fact that Dinah's messed up this gank bot, like, let's just accelerate this game. You don't
I
even
just get like
need
a
to
whole
gank.
top side.
Yeah, you don't even need to gank. Just full clear. Let's go full power mode, power farm mode.
Yeah.
Oh, so you don't do raptors here. I think that's fine, I guess. You just obviously want to clear these. Diana potentially is looking to come back top here.
I didn't really want to.
to.
Yeah. The one was like hard pinging me to come top here. I just muted him.
Yeah, no, you need to just keep power firing. Doesn't
Yeah.
matter. Like, think about it. Even if you get this, even if you kill Darius is still going to be able to 1v1 on. So it doesn't even matter,
Yeah.
So
I
don't
kind
waste
of wanted
your
to
time.
play towards like mid. Like there was really no lanes I could really
Yeah,
gank.
this is pretty difficult, isn't it? You're
Yeah.
versing a Thresh. You have a Bard Vayne, Yas into Corki. Yeah, just prioritize just being efficient here. Opportunities will present themselves. You take them when you see them, but prioritize being efficient.
Yeah. We zoned the Diana off Scuttle here, which is good.
Awesome. You get double Rift Scuttler,
Yeah.
Krugs.
Yeah. So I get that. I think I do Raptors, Krugs, and then reset and go back to top side.
Yep.
I think that's what I do.
Yep, love the efficiency. I wouldn't gank bot at all. You go Warhammer instead of your jungle item. Is that because... Why is that? Instead of jungle item, 2 longswords.
It's probably I think it's just a mistake, honestly. If I'm just going to be farming the jungle item, it's
that's
probably
right.
better.
It is,
Yeah.
because you lose too much mana, Like, it's going to be
Yeah.
difficult. Like, you might actually need to, like, base after doing Gromp Wolves, It just sort of limits your options. Like, it's
Yeah.
very good to go
You don't have-
Warhammer if
yeah.
you're ganking straight away,
Yeah.
So it's like, I need the extra AD, straight away gank, but in general, just for clearing...
So would you just get like jungle item plus like longsword?
yeah, and 2 control wards, or 1 control ward.
Yeah.
So
I don't
we-
like buying 2 control wards at once just because it like delays my spike, I feel like, if I buy too many pinks.
Yeah, so we talked about that. Before 10 minutes, I think it's fine to just get 1 control ward, but past 15 minutes plus, like 100% 2 control wards every base.
Yeah.
It's so important for objective control past then. But if I'm playing a super aggressive jungle, I think Graves definitely 1 control ward's fine. But if I'm playing like a Lee Sin, Elise, Rek'Sai, I just want to get because you win games and your pressure is through denying vision, right? But Graves,
Yeah.
you win the game through being super efficient.
Yeah. I agree.
Right, so really good. So this is, again, really good usage of looking at lanes. Obviously, you see Corky's pretty low here.
Yeah.
Your Yas does die, but he gets executed.
Yeah,
So yeah, look
I
at
don't really care about that because I got the kill.
that's right. It's fine. See, look at here. This is again the consequence right now of you not getting your jungle item. You can't take raptors because you have like no mana.
I didn't want to take Raptors as well because I didn't know where Diana would be as well.
That's fine. You have flash. You're versing a Diana pre-6
Actually, yeah,
is not
I should.
too exciting.
I destroy her. Yeah.
You know, you're level 5. You're power farming. Like, what's a Diana gonna do? She has no items. You have a Warhammer. You actually want to 1v1 her.
Yeah. All right. So that's just like bad mindset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're playing too conservative, but I mean it's fine. I mean you don't need to 1v1 her to win this game. You can just keep power farming.
I guess like maybe at the time I was just worried that like Darius could rotate and he's already 3-1. But
We're obviously not worried about Darius rotating going for this red buff right here.
true. I think I knew he would reset. That's why I went for it. And I knew that Blast Cone was up, so I felt kind of safe, I guess.
Okay, you couldn't afford controllers from this base. I'll let you off the hook on that one. You bought Warrior, huge item spike. Krugs. Red. Walk into River now. You have Sweeper Trinket. Decide to do Raptors. We see Diana bot. And we're going for the play here. Great kill. Awesome. Take Dragon off this.
Yeah, just since I was Joy with the Bard, I was kind of just like saying
okay,
let's
that
go
makes a lot
here.
of
So it was
sense.
a
Gank
little bit
bot.
easier.
Yeah, and I think your early game's perfect, man. This is literally flawless. And you actually hard carry this game anyway, right? So yeah, you win the game off this as Graves. If you're 4-0 Graves, 84 CS at 10 minutes, 22 seconds, this is great. So I'm not sure if you had any questions about this. Did you know it was really good or...
I just wanted to know like if the pathing was okay, like just because like top was hard losing, so I just wanted your opinion on if I should like try help, but your opinion was probably not because
Look
I
at
was
him
kind of
right now.
just
His 38 CS to a 5-1 Darius. Like, Ornn, you're not going to be able to help an Ornn at the end of the day. Like, an Ornn versus Darius, he's going to win even if he's like 0-3. You'll literally be able to still solo kill him.
yeah. So you would get jungle item in the Skirmish's Saber instead of
So my
Caulfield's
rule is
Warhammer.
always, unless you're ganking literally out of base and you let's say you get a dragon, but I mean, it's so rare. It's so rare early in the game. You need to go somewhere, you know?
All right.
Or if you want to do an invade straight away, but in general, 90% of the time, just go your jungle item.
Yeah. So would you always go longsword over like boots or something?
Yeah.
If you have like water walking, is boots like good? For,
I don't care about boots at all these days, honestly. First
Alright.
boots, just no move speed, just get warrior. I mean, let's say I'll get boots if I prioritize controllers over boots. So I'll get boots if I can afford them, and I can't afford like another longsword. I'll get them, but
So if you have 300 gold, you just buy 2 control wards?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions, Aaron?
Look, I can't think of any off the top of my head, but if I think of any, I'll just
Shoot them
message
through.
you.
Yeah, just message me through. You're on the Discord.
All
All
right.
right. Thanks, Aaron. We'll see you next time.
All right. Thanks.
All right, so that was second last guest. Barkley's going to be our next one, who's going to be our last one for the night. If you guys have any questions in the chat, now's the time to be asking them. All right, Barkley, you are on the air.
All right.
Okay, I'm just logging on to the North American server now. So which game was this again? Did you put it in the chat?
Yeah, I did.
Jarvan.
Jarvan 9, 2, and 13. This is not the one that we've been talking about. This is a different game.
Okay. So this is a game you won, right?
Yeah.
So what are you looking for at this game? What are you hoping to get out of this early game review?
There's a couple decisions that I made. I mean, I feel like this early game actually went really, really well. But there was a couple times that I did something that I kind of want to hear some feedback about. Like after I got a double kill bottom, I stayed to push out a really big wave that took me probably too long to push out. And I'm wondering if that was the right decision. And there's some other things kind of spattered throughout that I wouldn't say I got lucky, but it wasn't planned. Like, I just want to see if there's something I could do better.
Okay, sure. Let's start with your runes first. Go on Electrocute. Tell me why you're going to Electrocute over Conqueror this game.
I'm gonna wait for the delay here because I actually don't remember who's in this game. I went Conqueror because I knew that I was going to be trying to play around bot lane, and both of them are super squishy, and I wanted to make sure that I was able to kill them. And also, versus the Kha'Zix matchup, I don't think Conqueror does me any favors in that matchup. I think he does too much damage for Conqueror to matter. I think the only chance I win that 1v1 is if I kill him first.
Okay, so I do like that your thought process there. It's like that's my win condition. I want to use my runes around that. But you are versing like triple melee topside, and yes, the argument of Electrocute into Kha'Zix, even though like he's an assassin, he gets away. Conqueror versus Kha'Zix really helps you early game because he actually can't walk up and 1v1 you at all. So it gives you way more strength. But like in terms of one-shotting him, like yes, that's really good. But I really think that you're going to pigeonhole yourself too much this game if you go Electrocute, and you're literally forced to go by. And because then on a Galio and a Maokai, you can't do anything to them, Yeah. Okay. So I think that like this is why I sort of say like 4+ range champs Electrocute. Otherwise, Conqueror Jarvan like 90% of the time, it's just so good on him.
All right.
Unless if they had like a Rise or I don't know, what's another squishy champion, like a Cassiopeia or something like that, then I won't maybe go on Electrocute, but this game definitely be going Conqueror.
Okay.
Alright, so tell me a little bit about your early jungle pass. You're looking to start red? You're looking to gank top early, or do you want to just clear top side then go back bot?
I'm actually looking to gank mid early. The Galio level 1, in my opinion, is one of my favorite champs to see mid lane because it's just a free kill.
I love the EQ hold here. Clean. This is really, really clean, PJ. Yep, awesome work. Free kill. He pushes that in. Q. Getting your Dyna Snowball. I mean, you didn't give the kill to Dyna there, but it's fine. You can go full carry mode. Alright, yeah, so what I'll be doing right now, full clearing top side, base, let's go straight bot side.
Okay. I don't think that's what I do. I think I get greedy. Actually, there's no think. I know I get greedy going top.
Yeah, so you don't have Conqueror. Waste of time going top here. It's a full health. Maokai, you have a Shen. You even said, like, you took Electrocute for bot. Why aren't you looking to go bot? This is your win condition.
Yep.
So this is a huge mistake. Just do Wolves, base, go bot. I don't even care about top Rift Scar, so I think this is a huge mistake. Like, ganking this Maokai is not going to win you this game. Look at where bot right now is, the wave. These guys are so vulnerable. And the worst thing about this now is you've showed top for free. And now bot lane can freely push as much, like there's no pressure you're putting on bot right now, Like they're like, yeah, Jarvan's top. We're pushing in, like we're going to get away with this. It's like, you're like letting like someone like rob like a video game store, or like some camera store or something like that, or some jewelry store right here,
Yep, the gank on Maokai was greedy. The re-gank on Maokai was stupid.
Yeah, absolutely. And you die for this as well. So yeah, like dying as Jarvan early game. Like I made a video talking about dying early as Warwick, like early game. You just cannot do it. Like it just really stuffs you up,
Yep.
Right, so we're going bot now for Krugs and looking to maybe do something here. Cast is getting pretty greedy here. Okay, so you held your EQ really well before, but you didn't here. Like right. they have no. Like, they have lots of flashes and stuff like that. Like, it's going to be too hard.
I
Just wait for some
tunneled
CC.
way too hard on the fact that Rakan burned his flash, completely forgetting that he has another dash.
That's
in his
exactly
kit.
right. Like,
Yeah.
you're so lucky Senna got a double CC on these guys. Like, imagine EQ here. These guys both die. Or, like, have to burn both thumbs, you know?
Yeah.
So this is a huge mistake for EQ combo. It looks like they go pretty greedy. You guys get the kill anyway. Yeah, so definitely messed up your EQ there. Alright, let's get... You can't do Dragon. I would... Krugs, full clear top, base, go down to Dragon. Actually, Rift Scuttler, you check Rift Scuttler, this is fine. I would skip my Krugs now, I think. Yeah, so you should skip your Krugs there. Because just the way efficient pathing, you know, works, like, you walking back down here and looking to full clear up, like, that's pretty inefficient, right? So, if you've done Rift Scuttler, like, you know how I do say you want to do your Krugs at least once before 5 minutes. In this situation, for efficiency and based on the objective and what you want to be doing bot, it's going to take, you're going to put yourself too far behind if you do Krugs here, you know, like based on the tempo of the game.
Right, and it's funny that you should bring that up, and I actually didn't notice that when I watched this video the first time, but now that you've mentioned it, I do notice it. In the other Jarvan game that you and I have been talking about, I do the same thing.
Interesting.
Where, like, I go back into my jungle, like, oh, I don't want to leave these up, when I really should have gone top.
There you go.
So this seems to be a repeat offender that I need to look more closely at.
Well, so the key rule behind that is about tempo and where you need to be, right?
Right.
So I would have said, let's say if you didn't do Rift Scholar, yes, it makes sense to do Krugs because you are right here. Might as well do them, full clear up. But again, in this case, you're here. Every second counts in League. Every second counts. All right, so Raptors, and now you're going back bot here, I think is fine. These guys don't have sums anymore. Even though you're skipping your topside camps, I think this is fine. Really good hook by Thresh. Shen ults. Shen didn't probably need to ult there, but does anyway. Free Dragon. Okay, so this is a situation where I wouldn't do red. Same sort of philosophy. You need to base, clear your full top side, and then come down here. And you actually want to have red. You want to save red for as long as possible for a regank on bot because you're not going to gank at all, right? So red's technically ineffective.
Okay.
So
that makes sense.
After that dragon,
so save it for the gank.
Yeah, save it for the gank. Like there's going to be no threat because Kha'Zix is going to come and think you're going to take this, so he's not going to check it. You have control wards here. You can see if he's going to go for it. Like if Kha'Zix walks over these wards, it's fine. He's not going to take it. You know, always trick the enemy jungler where you're resetting. Reset. Top, clear this, walk down here, then look to gank bot. Does that make sense? Okay. So I really don't like this. You're sticking around to gank this Galio. You have enough for warrior. You should not be looking to gank right now. Your mindset right now, the way you win this game is basing, spending all your gold, coming up here, clearing that, re-ganking, like getting this bot tower soon. Actually, you could base right now and actually be looking to do Rift Herald. That's what I'll be doing. Get a Rift Herald, use it to break bot. Because you have constant priority. Shen is like really strong. He's 202. Dian is doing well. I mean, obviously from your gank, mid has made this guy go 0-3. So my right now objective would be not gank at all. You don't want to be showing at all here. Because if you show right now and the enemy Kha'Zix says this guy hasn't base, he hasn't got warrior yet, it gives him a lot of options that you don't want to be giving him. And you showed here. So I don't like this at all. And there's just nothing you'll be able to do here. Even on that mid. I mean, you don't want to be... Like, it's a waste of time to even try and be ganking a 0-3 Galio. He's already so far behind. That's not going to win you this game. So you have 2 control wards. Potentially should be looking to help mid now, I think. So this is a rule where you should be looking to get vision first and then your camps. So come here, and this will allow you to set up Rift Herald better. Like, come here, either ward here or here. I think here. Scare off the Kha'Zix. You don't even have to kill him. Then you can just back off. Help the... Diana get mid priority because you can get mid priority. You're literally a 4-1 Jarvan with warrior. Like Kha'Zix has no items. Get this mid priority, then go to Rift Herald, and then you can. I'm
gonna have to watch this back later because the delay is much worse than usual.
Okay,
it's probably a good 20-25 seconds.
All right, you do gank mid here. Yeah, I'll just be looking to do Rift Herald. I don't think you should be looking to counter jungle at all. I think it's a waste of time. You should be doing Rift Herald, using the opportunity. And even ganking top here, as you've wasted time again. This is not how you win the game. Ganking top, it's a huge waste of time. And now you missed the opportunity to Rift Herald. So yeah, this is actually pretty poor. You missed a lot of opportunities here, PJ, and also just wasted a lot of time trying to gank mid and top after that first mid gank.
Gotcha.
Cool. So does that all make sense? Yeah, watch it back. Like that's a bit of an unfortunate. That was a bit of pretty big delay. But yeah. Do you have any other questions about that?
Nope. That's pretty good. I mean, right now I'm seeing that I'm ganking Galio to put it into perspective how bad the delay is.
Oh wow. Okay. Yeah. Definitely just watch it back. That will make a lot because I'll just be talking here. You actually don't even know what I'm talking about. So
it's still valuable. I'll still go watch it. So.
All right. Cool. All right. Thanks, PJ. We'll see you next time.
All right.
All right. That is going to wrap up this episode 7. My next show is going to be on Monday, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do these shows twice a week. If you're watching, you've been around for a while, come on this show. I mean, I have a lot of regulars on here. Don't be afraid to come on here just because, let's say, you haven't joined my Discord server recently. Just jump in here. Purpose here is to help you become a better jungler. Not here for judgment or to bash anyone's gameplay. This is a informative, helpful stream, and that's what my channel is all about. So this is going to wrap up this Your First Jungle Clear. I'll see you guys in the next one or my next video.